Atmani sarvata ahankaram vimulatma karta aham iti mannate. We are preaching Krishna consciousness all over the world, and we are getting good response because we are preaching Bhagavad Gita as it is. This book is here, it is in Bhagavad Gita as it is. We do not make any false interpretation, so that the reader also spoiled and the listener is also spoiled. There are so many people, sometimes they come forward to give me some credit that I have done very wonderful thing. I reply that I do not know, I have to do something wonderful. I cannot manufacture gold, I cannot show any jugglery. But if there is any credit, then the only credit is I don't adulterate. The pure milk, I don't show my expert service by adding water in it. That I do. So we present Bhagavad Gita as it is. In the Bhagavad Gita, Kṛṣṇa is the Supreme Lord. In all the Vedic literature, Kṛṣṇa is accepted as the Supreme Lord, person, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ishara Parama Kṛṣṇa, Satchidananda Vigraha. Anadi, Adi Govinda, Sarvakarmakar. And the Vedanta Sutra, it is inquired, Athata Brahma Jigyasa, what is Brahma? This human life is made for understanding Brahma. Aham Brahmasmi. This is real education. So, that Parabrahma, we are Brahma, but Kṛṣṇa is Parabrahma. Nitya Nityanam, Chetanas Chetananam. He is the supreme Nitya, eternal. Kṛṣṇa is also eternal, we are also eternal. Na hannate hannamane sarire. So, Kṛṣṇa is also not a dead stone, and we are also living beings. Nitya Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam. And what is the difference between Kṛṣṇa and me? The difference is, Eko jo bahunam vidadati kama. Kṛṣṇa maintains all these plural numbers. He is singular number. Nitya, Nityanam. He is singular number. This singular number and plural number, what is the difference? The difference is that Kṛṣṇa is the maintainer and we are the maintained. Kṛṣṇa is the predominator, we are predominated. This is the one. So our preaching is this Kṛṣṇa consciousness, that people are searching after God, speculating throughout the whole life. But here Kṛṣṇa is canvassing. Here I am. No. Avajananti manamurha. God is canvassing. Here I am. And these people are searching after God. Just see. Why? That is explained here. Ahankara vimura ma. False egoism. Ahankara kartaham iti mannate. he is fully under the control of Prakriti and still he is thinking independent. That is Vimurad, bewildered. So, Prakriti krimanani gunai karmani sarvasa ahankaro vimratma karta aham iti mandal. The material world, especially in this age, everyone is thinking, oh, I am the greatest. Who can become more than me? Ahankara vimratma. This material world is like that. Everyone is thinking like that. Or asurik pravritti, ko adha sri, mama sama, who is greater than me. There is a struggle for this vimuratma, competition. But at the end, he is under the control of nature, everyone knows it. Because ultimately the death will come. And all ahankaras will be taken away. I don't care for God, I independent, I am God. All these ahankara, false egotism, on account of being bewildered, these things will be finished when Kṛṣṇa will come as death. Everything will be finished. Mrityu sarva harascha ham. Kṛṣṇa has described himself that I am death. I am death and I take away all your possession. That's all. As death. It will be taken away. However intelligent we may be, however proud we may be for our possession, but the death is sure as death. And when death comes, the death is also another form of Kṛṣṇa. He will take everything, just like Hiranyakashipu. He was very, very proud of his possession. He was controlling over the three worlds. He was chastising his Vaishnava son, Prahlāda Maharaj. In this way, he was very, very proud. But when Kṛṣṇa came as Nrisimhadev, everything was finished within a second. So we should not mistake this fact. Kṛṣṇa therefore presents that your real problem is birth, death, old age and disease. Your problem. You are making solution of all the problems by scientific advancement, by education, by so on, political maneuvers, everything is all right. But how you are going to solve this problem? Janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanudarsanam. How you solve this problem? Actually, human life is meant for solving this problem, not this temporary problem. Temporary problem will go on. If you don't solve this problem, janma mrityu jara vyadhi, then any form of life, there will be problems. Even if you are elevated to the heavenly planets, there are also problems. Indra is not very happy there, the king of heavenly planet. Although the higher planets, the duration of life, the standard of civilization, standard of comfort, many, many thousands times greater than here. But the same problem, janma mrityu jara vyadhi, is there. You cannot avoid. But actually our problem is that nobody wants to die. That's a fact. But death is enforced. No young man wants to become old man, but it is enforced. You cannot avoid. So, we should understand this is sense that we are not independent. That's a fact. Prakriti Kṛṣṇa. And above Prakriti, there is Kṛṣṇa. Maya dhakṣena Prakriti swayate sacharacharam. Hetunani na kaunteya jagadvi parivartate. So, Therefore, Krishna is accepted as the supreme controller. Ishvara Parama Krishna. Ishvara means controller, one who controls. So everyone has got some capacity to control. Every one of us, you are also controlling your family, controlling your business, and I am controlling this institution, and so on, so on. Everyone has got some. In that sense, everyone is Ishvara. There is no fight on this point. But we are controller of a limited circle, but we are controlled also. That is our position. Not that I am simply controller, but I am controlled by higher authority. So therefore, I am not supreme controller. I am controller, Ishvara. But here is one Ishvara, Kṛṣṇa. Ishvara Parama. He is supreme controller. Why supreme controller? Because he is not controlled by anyone. That is Krishna's position. Kṛṣṇa, when he was present on this planet, he practically demonstrated that he controlled everyone, but nobody controlled him. That is Ishvara. That is called Parameshvara. Ishvara everyone may be. God everyone may be. But Godhead is Krishna. Nitya Nityanam Chetana Chetana. So we should understand it very nicely, and it is not very difficult. The same controller is coming before us as one of us, as human being. But we are not accepting it. That is the difficulty. Avajananti magamura manasim tanuvasa. That is very regretful. Krishna says that I am coming to exhibit who is the supreme controller, and I am praying as human being so that everyone can understand. I am giving instruction in the Bhagavad Gita. Still, these fools, the rascals, they cannot understand. So, God is there. We can give the God's name, Kṛṣṇa, God's address also, Vrindavan, God's father's name, mother's name. So why is the difficulty to find out God? But they will not accept. They will not accept. Mura, they have been described as Mura. So this morning, this press reporters asking me, what is the purpose of your movement? I said, to educate the Muras. That's all. This is the common substance of this Krishna consciousness movement, that we are trying to educate the Muras. And who is Mura? That is described by Krishna. Namaga duskiti na Mura pravaddanti naratava. Why? Maya puritagyana. Why Maya has taken away his knowledge? Asuri bhavamasi. We have got very simple test like a chemist in the small test tube can analyze what is the liquid. So, we are not very intelligent. We are also one of so many Muras. But we have got the test tube. Krishna says, we like to remain Mura and take education from Krishna. This is Krishna consciousness. We do not pose ourselves as very learned scholar and very erudite scholar. We know everything. No. We are Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He also tried to remain a Mura. When he talked with Prakāśānanda Saraswati, he was Mayavadi sannyasi. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing and chanting. So these Mayavadi sannyasis are criticizing him that he is a sannyasi and is simply chanting and dancing with some sentimental persons. What is this? So a meeting was arranged between Prakāśānanda Saraswati and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In that meeting, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu attended as a humble sannyasi. So Prakāśānanda Saraswati questioned him, "Sir, you are a sannyasi, your duty is to study Vedanta always. How is that you are chanting and dancing? You are not reading Vedanta?" Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Yes, sir, that's a fact. I am doing because my Guru Maharaj saw me a murha, rascal." How is that? He said, "Guru Mari Murkha Dekhi Korila Sasam." My Guru Maharaj saw me a fool number one and he chastised me. How he has chastised you? You have no jurisdiction for studying Vedanta. It is not possible for you. You are a mura. You better chant this. So what is this purpose? The purpose is, at the present moment, these murhas, how they will understand Vedanta. Better chant Hare Krishna. Then you will get all knowledge. Hare Nama, Hare Nama. Hare Nama iva kevalam, kalau nasti va nasti va nasti va gatiranna. In this age, people are so fallen. Now what they will understand Vedanta and who has got the time to read Vedanta? So, better take the education of Vedanta, direct. As Krishna says, Vedaischa sarvai ahamaiva vedam. So, Vedanta knowledge is called sabdadana vritti. By chanting the Sabda Brahma, one can be liberated. So this is recommended in the Shastras. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama iva kevalam, kalau nasti va nasti va nasti va gatirannata. So if one is actually interested how to become liberated from this material bondage, janma, mrityu, jara, vyadhi, these are the problems, then according to Shastra, according to Mahajan, one must take to this chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. This is our purpose. So, even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was so learned scholar, every one of you know, and he was very popular leader at Navadvip. And when he was 16 years old only, he defeated one very great learned scholar, Keshav Kashmiri. And he was known as Nimai Pandit. Actually, he was a very learned scholar, and his explanation of one verse, Atmaramastamanayo Nidganthyapi Rukrame, he described this verse in 64 ways. He was such a learned scholar. So he was not a fool, but he represented the fool of this age, that if you want liberation from material bondage, because this human form of life is meant for that purpose. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha dosara. This human life is meant for getting out of this engagement of repetition of birth, death, old age and disease. This is human form of life. It is meant for. Unfortunately, there is no education that why I do not want death, but why death is compulsory. I do not want old age, why old age is compulsory. I do not want to take birth, why birth is compulsory. These are the actual questions, problems of life. And our whole Vedic literature is meant for solving this problem. That is whole purpose. Vedic literature, Vedic civilization is not meant for working day and night like animals, only for maintaining the foodstuff and sense gratification. It is not civilization. According to our Vedic civilization, this is not civilization. This is another form of animal life. Because Rishabdev says, Nayang deha deho bhajang niloke kastan kaman arahati virujang tapo dibbam tutrakajena suddheta satya. That is it, suddheta satya. Satta, our existence, is now polluted, infected. Therefore, we have to accept birth, death, old age and disease. That cats and dogs, they cannot get this opportunity. How to purify the existence, how to become free from these four principles of material unhappiness. They cannot understand, they cannot study Vedic literature, they cannot take instruction of Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam. So if we do not take advantage of our Vedic knowledge, which is found in India, then we are spoiling our life. Therefore Narottam Das Thakur has sung a very nice song. Hari Hari Bifale Janamagoin. My Lord, Hari Kṛṣṇa, I have simply wasted my time. Why? Manusya janama paiya Radha Kṛṣṇa na bhojiya janiya suniya bisha khaini. I got this human form of life, but I did not take the advantage offered in this life to understand Kṛṣṇa. Therefore, I have taken poison knowingly. I have taken poison. So this Kṛṣṇa consciousness movement is very important. It is not something manufactured, mental concoction. It is authorized movement. Kṛṣṇa says, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam saranam vraja matta paradaram nanya kinchijasti dhananjaya. There is no more superior fact than Kṛṣṇa. That you have to understand. And how he is superior. We are taking nature as very wonderful, but behind the nature, the manipulator, the controller is Kṛṣṇa. That you have to understand. That is understanding of Kṛṣṇa. Big scientists are finding out the wonderful natural laws, but it is their duty to find out who has made this law and how it is being conducted so nicely. That answer is there. Prakriti mayadhakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam hetunani na kaunteya jagadvi parivartate. The Prakriti is very powerful, there is no doubt. In the Brahma Samhita also it is stated that sthiti palaya sadhana shaktirika chaiva jassa bhavanani vibharti Durga. Durga, Goddess Durga, she is the Prakriti power, and she can create, she can maintain, she can annihilate. Sthiti palaya sadhana shaktirika chaiva jassa bhavanani vibharti. But she is acting just like shadow, not independent. Ichhanu rupamapi jasya chestate sa govindamari. Come on. So Govinda is the ultimate background. Sarvakarana karma. Ishvara Parama Kṛṣṇa. This is the Brahma Samhita written by Lord Brahma. And he is personally explaining himself. What is the difficulty to understand Kṛṣṇa, the Supreme Personality of Godhead? So we should take opportunity of this human form of life, how to understand. Even one has got this human form of life, it is difficult. Kṛṣṇa said, Manusyanam sahasreshu kaschid jatati siddhaya jatatam abhisiddhyana kaschid veti mam tattva. So there are so many things to be learned about Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇa says that I am controlling the material nature. Now, if you are actually very great scientist, you find out how Kṛṣṇa is controlling it. That is, idam nipumsas tapasa sutasava. Actually, education, tapasa, means that you should understand what is the ultimate truth, how is acting. Then your education, your scientific knowledge is perfect. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said in the Naimisharanya, atapanghi dijasreshtha varnasama vibhagasya sanushthitasya dharmasya samsiddhi harito. So whatever you do, it doesn't matter, but try to satisfy the Supreme Lord by your work. That is the perfection of life. Samsiddhi harito. You cannot, this is foolishness. There is no God. How you can say so? You are completely under the control of the laws of nature, and nature is being controlled by God. How you can say that you are independent of God? Therefore, it is not very good business that people are pushing on a type of civilization, godless civilization. They will never be happy because we are so controlled that after death we have to accept tatha dehantara prapti. You cannot stop that. As you cannot stop, just like a boy, if he says, no, I will not grow. Father says, my dear boy, you are playing whole day. Go to school, learn something, other in future you will be unhappy, you will not be able to maintain yourself. If the boy says, no, I have no future. I will not become a young man. I shall play. But that is not a fact. You have to become a young man. And you have to take responsibility. So similarly, Kṛṣṇa said, dehi nasmin yatha dehi kaumana jovanam jara tatha dehantara prapti dhiras tatanamaya. The dehantara prapti is there. That's a fact. How you can say I am independent? This is foolishness. You are not independent. How dehantara prapti? Karmana daiva netrena, according to your karma. In this life, we are preparing ourselves for the next life. How it is? Janti deva prata devan pitrin janti pitri prata bhute ja janti mat jajino pi janti ma. You have to prepare yourself. So, leaving aside the black side, you take the bright side, that you are trying to go to the higher planetary systems, Sarvalok, Janalok, Mahalok, Tapalok. So you have to prepare yourself. They are trying to go to the moon planet. But according to our calculation, they have never gone to the moon planet. They have never gone. Because we find in the Shastra, the moon planet is situated 1,600,000 miles above the sun. They calculate the 93 millions of miles the sun is situated. So 93 million plus another 1,600,000, it becomes 95 million miles. How one can go 95 millions of miles in 4 days? So according to our Shastra, we cannot believe this statement. So apart from this discussion, you can go to the moon planet. That is also one of the heavenly planets. But you have to prepare for them. That is karma kanda. You have to perform such and such yajnas. It is not that by force you can go any other planet. By force you cannot go even any other parts of the world here. If you want to go to America, You have to take passport, visa and so many things. And you will be allowed to go to the moon planet without any visa and passport. How is possible? It is common sense. They are so fools that some rascal will take some message and go there. That is not possible. So, we have to prepare. So Kṛṣṇa says, Janti deva vrta deva. If you want to go to the heavenly planets, you can go. You prepare yourself. Pitri jnanti, pitri loka, if you can go. Majjaje no vijanti ma. But if you prepare yourself for coming to me, back to home, you can do so. So, if we have to prepare ourselves to go to other higher planetary system, and here within this material world, within this universe, abrahma bhavana lokana punaravartino. Even if you go to the highest planetary system, Brahmaloka, the Brahmaloka means you cannot calculate one day's life. That is stated in the Bhagavad Gita. Sahasra Juga Varjantam Arahajjat Brahmanovi. Sahasra Juga, one Juga means 43 lakhs of years. And multiplied by 1,000. Such years is only 12 hours of Brahmaloka. Similarly, 24 hours, 1 month, 1 year. It is very, very long duration of life there, where Brahma lives. But still, you have to die. Abrahma bhavana lokan punaravartina. So, madhyamagatya punarjanmana vidyate. These are instructions are there, and we are trying to educate people in Krishna consciousness. But if we think foolishly that I am independent, you can do that, but we are not independent. That's a fact. Prakriti Kiramani, we are fully under the control of Prakriti, and we have to change different types of bodies. There are 8,400,000 different types of bodies. Jalajano, Lakhani, Sagara, Lakhavinsati, they are all stated. And this human form of life is very, very rarely we have obtained. Therefore, Prabhupāda Maharaj said that Durlabha Manusanga Janma. This human form of life is very, very difficult to obtain. Somehow or other we have now this human form of life. Kṛṣṇa said that utilize it very nicely so that the problems of life, and that knowledge is very easy. Kṛṣṇa says, Janma karma cha me dibbam jujanati tattva. Simply try to understand Kṛṣṇa. That's all. That is all. And Kṛṣṇa is explaining himself, what he is. Where is the difficulty? Unless you make some interpretation foolishly, everything is very, very clear. So you can understand Kṛṣṇa. And if you understand Kṛṣṇa, then result is Janma karma sami dibbam jujanati tattata takta deham punarjanma naiti mami. Where is the difficulty? There is no difficulty. Therefore our request is, take to this Krishna consciousness. If the foreigners can take to it very seriously, why not Indians? It is Indians' knowledge. Bhagavad Gita was spoken in India. Why you are neglecting it? Why you are not taking advantage? Why you are falsely proud that you are independent? These are our questions. You are not independent, you are under the full control of Prakriti. So you have to rectify. Tapodibbam jina suddhed satya jasmad brahma sokham anantam. That is, that we want happiness. But here, any happiness, there is no happiness, it is simply distress. But even if we take that happiness, that is temporary. But we want unlimited, unending happiness. So that you can have if you perform tapasya. Tapasya brahmacharjina samena damena. That is life. Human life is meant for tapasya. A little tapasya. Not very difficult. We are asking this boy, the European others, that you simply give up these four principles of sinful life. Because if you remain sinful, you cannot understand God. That is not possible. Therefore Krishna is saying, Mamang, namang, duskriti no mula. One who are engaged in sinful activities, they cannot. That is not possible. Jesam antagatam papam jananam punna karma te dandamaha nirmukta bhajanti maam. We have to be free from sinful life. And now it is practical. Now we have, according to Shastra, we have prescribed no illicit sex, no meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication. Four no's. Then you become free from sinful activities. And then chant Hare Krishna, your life is exalted. It is not very difficult, provided we are serious to take it. So that is our request. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Kevalam. Even if you cannot give up the four principles of sinful life immediately, but you take to Krishna consciousness, chant Hare Krishna mantra, then you gradually get strength, just like this European American boy. From their childhood, they are trained up for this sinful life. But they have given up completely. Young man, still they have given up. So, the method is very simple. Cheta darpana marjanam, bhava mahadavagni nidvapanam. If you chant Hare Krishna mantra, then the mirror of the core of heart will be clean. Cheta darpana marjanam. And then bhava mahadavagni nidvapanam. This repetition of birth, death, old age and disease. This is just like a fire in the forest. Nobody wants it, but it is forced upon us. Just like nobody wants go to set fire in the forest. But it takes place, naturally. Similarly, if you remain in this material world, then you have to be, put into the stimulations of materialistic way of life. There is no escape. Samsara davana. It is just like davana. So cheta darpana marjanam bhava mahadava. As soon as you understand that I do not belong to this material world, Brahma bhuta prasannatma nasrochati, then all problems of life is solved. Aham Brahma. This is cheta darpana marjanam. So as soon as one is cleansed of the dirty things in the heart, then he can understand that I am part and parcel of Krishna. My duty is to serve Krishna. So let me be engaged in his service and become successful in this human form of life. Thank you very much. It is Krishnaism. What is this stop? Hinduism means a type of faith, or Muslimism is type of faith. But as it is described in the English dictionary, religion means a kind of faith. But it is not that type of religion. It is a compulsory fact. Just like sugar is compulsorily must become sweet. If sugar is not sweet, that is not real sugar. Chili is not hot, that is not real chili. Similarly, we are part and parcel of Krishna. Our duty is to become Krishna conscious. There is no question of faith. It is not the question of faith. You may have faith in Hinduism, tomorrow you may have faith in Christianism, or you may have faith in Christianism, tomorrow in Mohammedanism. This kind of faith is not Krishna consciousness. It is compulsory. Just like laws of the state. It is not that it is meant for the Hindus or for the Muslims, for the Christians. It is meant for everyone. Similarly, Mamayivamsa Jiva Bhuta. We are part and parcel of Kṛṣṇa. So, it is compulsory to revive our consciousness that we are part and parcel of Kṛṣṇa. It is not a question of faith. Faith you may accept or do not accept, but here it is a question of must. You must revive your Kṛṣṇa consciousness, otherwise you will suffer.
Any other question? Any other question, please?
Here, one side.
If I understand Bhagavad Gita properly, Krishna has given different type of methods for different type of people, different type of characteristics. He is talking about different type of yogas like Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, all those things. And also, in a specific question to Arjuna's question, married question to Krishna, he asked the difference between the two forms of worship. One is the worshipping the form, other is worshipping the gunas. And as this actually is, we find it difficult to understand that. What can you enlighten us on this part? Why Krishna has given a different type of path which to be followed by different set of people, and these two different type of worships. One is the form worship and another is the formless worship, which he explains to Arjuna.
The personal form and impersonal form, there are two conceptions. But Krishna explains this, that maya tadamidam sarvam jagat abhaktam murtina, abhaktam, impersonal. That is another form of Krishna. He says maya, by me. I am all pervading. Maya tadamidam sarvam. That is sarvam khalidam brahma. Because he is expanded everywhere. That is impersonal. But as maya, he says, by me, then he is person. So, the whole creation is Krishna's expansion of energy. Just like the sunshine. Sunshine is also the same quality, heat and light, as the sun glow or the sun god. But the sunshine is impersonal, and the sun glow is localized, and within the sun glow there is sun god. So that is the main source of everything. Ishvara Parama Kṛṣṇa Sachidananda Vijna. Brahmanaham Pratishtha. The Brahma Jyoti is also staying in Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇa is the source of Brahma Jyoti. So, impersonal or personal, whatever you take, that is Brahma. Brahmeti, Paramatmayati, Bhagavaniti Sabda. But the beginning, origin is Krishna. That Krishna explains. Aham sarvasya prabhava matta sarvam pravartate. Either you take impersonal Brahma or localized Paramatma, whatever you take, that is emanation from Krishna. Sarvakaranakar. So, of course, if you worship impersonal form, Brahma, Jyoti, there is also Krishna. But Krishna says, klesha adhikatarastesam of bhaktya saptachitasam. If you want to approach the absolute truth through the impersonal form, then it will be little difficult. Perhaps you may not reach the ultimate goal. You may fall down. There are so many instances, you have seen in India, so many big sannyasis. They give up this word, Brahma Sattva Jagan Mithya. But after some days, they come down to the Jagat and engaged themselves in political. Why? They could not stay in the Brahma state. That is stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Jannera Vindhyakha Vimukta Maninu. By concentrating on the impersonal form, they think that they have become liberated, but actually that is not. Abhishuddha Buddhaya. The impersonal conception is not purified intelligence. Jannera Vindhyakha Vimukta Mani. You may think that I have become liberated, but it is not. Why? Arujya Kṛṣṇa param padam tataha patanti adha. After so much trouble and austerity, penances, you may acquire the position in the impersonal Brahma, but there is chance of falling down from there. Patanti adha. Why? Anadita jusmatam graya, because they could not find out how to worship your lotus feet. So, unless you come to the personal form of the Absolute Truth, there is difficulty and there is chance of falling down. Hello? He never says my avatar. Mame sarana. Otherwise it may be misguided. Sarva dharman parittajya. This is the most confidential information. Gujyatam, sarva gujyatam. So, if you want to take the most confidential instruction of Kṛṣṇa, then mamekam saranam praja. Then you want. What is that?
He says he takes Christianity as Krishna consciousness. What do you say?
Everything is Krishna consciousness. It is question of degrees. Momo bhat panthan, what is that verse? Bhartante manusya partha sarvas. Everyone is hunting after Krishna. But they are forward to some step. Suppose Krishna is there on the top and it is 100 steps. So somebody has covered 5 steps, somebody has covered 10 steps, somebody has covered 100 steps, like that. So everyone is searching after Kṛṣṇa. But there is degrees of realization of Kṛṣṇa. So either Christian, Mohammedan or any sect, they are searching after Kṛṣṇa, that's all right. But it is a question of degrees, how far they have gone onward. The last stage is sarva dharman parittajya mamekam. That is the final. No, it is Krishna consciousness is there in the Bhagavad Gita. It is not nobody's property. It is Krishna's instruction.
What is the color of Krishna? It is blue or black. Not according to Shastra, but your experience.
So, if you kindly advance in Krishna consciousness, then you will understand. What is that?
What is the purpose of meditation?
Meditation.
Purpose.
Dhyanavastita tadgatena manasa pasyanti jam yogina. This is meditation. That by meditation, try to find out Kṛṣṇa within your heart. Because Kṛṣṇa is situated in everyone's heart. Ishara sarvabhutanam hrideshe arjuna tishta. So that is dhyan. Find out. In the Shastra we understand Kṛṣṇa is within my heart. And if you meditate, try to find out Kṛṣṇa, then if you are fortunate, you will be able to see him. This is meditation.
My question is, the name Krishna existed prior to Dwapara Yuga.
Krishna existed
prior to Dwapara Yuga.
Existed prior to
Dwapara Yuga. Dwapara Yuga.
Prabhupada. Yes. It is always existing. Those who are expert, they are seeing him. Krishna is just like Brahma Samhita, he mentions Krishna, Ishara Parama Krishna. So many Dapar Yugas before, many millions of Dapar Yugas before, he mentioned Krishna. Do you understand it? Brahma says, Brahma is the first creature in the creation. Many millions of years ago, he uttered this word, Ishara Parama Krishna.
Is Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita different from the one in Bhagavad?
Is Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita different?
Krishna is one.
Yes. So much in India, many material.
It is very popular here also, otherwise why you have come here? So, Krishna is popular in India very much. At every house they observe Krishna Janmashtami. Unfortunately, you are forgetting. You are forgetting this. That is the misfortune.
Swami, to be of service to Godhead, is it necessary to renounce the regular life?
No. Regular like I said, Arjuna. Arjuna understood Bhagavad Gita. Before understanding Bhagavad Gita, he was a soldier. After hearing Bhagavad Gita, he remained a soldier. He did not give up the battlefield. Now, Krishna, I have understood, I give up everything, I am now going to be sannyasi. No, that is not required. You have to understand what Krishna wants you to do. That is Krishna consciousness. That you can do in any position. It doesn't require. Karma phalatya, that is advised by Krishna. See this, Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityajya. We have manufactured different types of religious systems. They can be grouped. Some of them are within the group of tyaga, and some of them are within the group of bhoga, bhoga and tyaga. The karmis, they are after bhoga, and jnanis, they are after tyaga. Krishna says that you have to give up both of them, this bhoga and tyaga, both of them. You have simply to surrender unto me. There is no question of bhoga and tyaga. Does not say that you go everywhere.
But simply they say that you have to just meditate, transcendental meditation.
But then what they say I do not know. I know what Krishna says, that's all. No, we are not concerned with others. We are pushing our Krishna consciousness means our mission is to present before you what Krishna says, that's all. We are not concerned what others says. We are not concerned. Yes, there is in the 6th chapter, Matparam. He has explained, Yoginam api sarvesam madgata antaratmana sadhyavan bhajati jumam samejuktatam. That is first class yogi, who is always thinking, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. He's first class. All right, we are getting knowledge. No more.